Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm gonna use a new product from iCrafter. This is a new company and I will use a die from them called Pop-Up Wiper Insert. You can see it here on the screen. These are blue dies and I absolutely love the colors of this. I will also use two different types of stamp sets. One is from Pinkfret Studios. This one is called Just Because stamp set, and I will also use a stamp set from Trinity Stamps called Monster Love. And I will create 3 cards today and I will show you this twice. Once how this is assembled. I will show you this first one is the one that is how it's intended to be used, and the other two are more my spin on it. So you can see here I have folded everything and I am putting adhesive at the different sides, and you can pause this and look closely if you don't if you can't see it clearly here on the image. On the 2 small flaps I am putting adhesive. I'm putting adhesive at the top and also at the lower part of that. You will see that the other 2 parts that creates the arms that hold the banner, I haven't adhered those yet. I will do that in a second, and I will actually do that when the card is assembled a little bit more, so I get a perfect alignment of where those should fit. You can see where I'm going to be adhering them later on. So you can see I will not put adhesive beyond the crease there, so it will just be a tiny bit that is holding everything down. So I'm going ahead here, and of course I use strong tape for everything here. I'm using score tape, and that is just my preference when it comes to interactive cards, to use something really strong. And you can see that I also will do a gift card holder, and I will do that before I start to assemble everything. And another thing, I will use a landscape card for this, and that is essential because otherwise the parts that will be moving are gonna will not fit inside of the card. So here I will align those flaps up against the fold of the card, and I will also lay this down flat and adhere this backer part down towards the top of this card. And you can go ahead and pause this again if you didn't see how I did that, and you will actually see I peeling everything up and then I'm just folding it over, making sure that the gift card holder isn't near the adhesive, because otherwise they will not be able to be opened. So that is something to have in mind when you are adhering this. So now you can see the mechanism and how easy that was to put together. It took me some time to figure out, but I hope this tutorial will help you to really make this easy. And when you have done it once, I promise you, you can use this in many different ways and you can go ahead and be creative with this mechanism. So you can see here I'm adhering one of them, one of the banners here, sides of the banners, the arms that will keep it together, making sure that I like the alignment and the placement of everything, and of course so that the banners doesn't go beyond the card base, so they will be hanging off. But in my case it was no problem, they were fitting perfectly inside of my landscape card here. You can see when I'm folding it how easy that was to just adhere. So now I'm gonna embellish this, and my thought for this one was that it's gonna be a little bit more of a masculine card if you want to send that to a guy in your life. And I think this actually would be a perfect gift to send to somebody that is isolating maybe now when they are home at sick or doesn't want to get anybody else sick, to just send a little present like this. I think they really will appreciate it, and also makes the stores go around, so they will be able to stay or actually come back and stay open when all this has passed. So just to give them a gift card, I think that is such a cute idea. So I was contemplating just adhering those things down on top of this dark gray chocolatey, I don't know what type of color we should call this, but it's a darker card base. But I decided to go ahead and use this flower arrangement from Pink Fresh Studios. And I was thinking this maybe went to be a little bit too feminine, but I decided that I wanted that a little pop of gold as well in the background. So I really liked that I decided to do this, and I just double stamping this with some sticky adhesive. This is a Versamark ink, and then I will coat it with some gold embossing powder, and then I will heat set it. And when I'm heat setting, I will actually this is some Brutus Monroe gilded embossing powder, and I will actually move my mat. Here you can see I'm using my glass mat instead, because otherwise my mat will actually warp. So I'm really careful here. My heat tool is from Wow, and I really like this tool. You can see how fast this is going. I'm sorry I'm a little bit off screen, that is just because I'm avoiding my mat here. So when that all is done, I am figuring out how I want this thanks to be aligned on top of this card base, and I actually decided to go with some white cardstock behind it and create a little bit of an offset shadow, just to make this pop, since it's gold on top of gold. And when I was finished with that, I also took some small bits and pieces of foam tape and popped them up, as well as I popped up my whole panel. So here you can see how this looks when it's all assembled, and I really like how that gift card is tucked inside of this card with that really cute thanks banner. So that was our first card for today, and this was actually how the die was intended to be used. Now we're gonna be a little bit more creative with this. I have done the same thing. I just cut every piece out with the dies that comes in this set, and I use some light pink cardstock this time. You can see how I'm creasing this one again, and you can see with creating that mounting, can we call it a mounting fold or a V shape or whatever, and it's really easy. Just follow the lines there, they are already there for you. And we're gonna tuck that little piece back on top, and then we're gonna put some more strong tape, and then we're gonna adhere it, the flaps up against the crease, and then the backer flap, we're gonna lay everything flat down to our surface, bend it in, and then press it down. And at the same time here, we're gonna remove those. I'm gonna cut the arms that we cut out as well down a little bit, because otherwise they will be a little bit too long for my monsters here. And off camera I went ahead and colored everything in with my Copic markers. You can see that this is a little bit too long for me, so my monsters will not be able to fit inside of this card base without sticking out, and they will not be showing if this is too high. So I will actually cut a little bit off just to make sure that we can see the monsters and that they will not peek out the sides. So I will go ahead and do this free-handedly. I wasn't too careful. It actually turned out really good. If you have been thinking about this before, you could have cut it before you had adhered it, but I didn't actually think about this before I went ahead and adhered my strip here down. So you will see I will just cut a little bit off. And now it's time to assemble this and put our monsters down. So I'm using the same adhesive here, just some strong adhesive. You can see the eyes are peeking a little bit too much out, so I'm just making sure that this looks good before I'm really pressing this down. When you have strong adhesive like this, don't press too hard before you are happy with the result. So I'm just cutting off a little bit of the arm, making sure the placement is good. Then I can peel off the other adhesive, press it down when the card front is laying flat, and you can see how the cute monsters are moving inside of our card. So for our front panel, I wanted to keep this one really simple as well. I just took some more monster, colored them in. It was really fast, and I'm gonna take the same dies as we have been using previously, that thanks and also the white banner. And then we're gonna adhere everything with some foam tape, just to make them a little bit more, I would say just to create a little bit more interest. You can skip this if you want to. I kept this really simple. I didn't have any back area for them, no scene, no nothing. So I just embellished them with some white gel pen to make them look a little bit like they were glowing in the dark, and that just made them pop a little bit more. If you had wanted to, you could also have put some wiggly eyes or something fun like that on top of them. I didn't even use any embellishment like glitter pen or sequins on this card. So it was really a clean card for me, and that is something I don't always do. So it was fun to just keep it real simple. And I decided to pair this up with another sentiment from the same stamp set as we used in the beginning from Pink Fresh Studios, and that's just to finish this off. So for my last card here, I actually will not go into the details, but I just used one of the arms, and that thanks will swing up and you can see the full sentiment. And I used the thanks and the banner as well as the Pink Fresh Studios stamp as well on this one. Since I used the teal cardstock for this, I think it looks a lot more feminine. So here is a closer look at all our 3 cards and how they were assembled, and I hope you got some inspiration and that you liked this video. If you did, I would be really happy if you would consider giving it a thumb up and subscribing to my channel. That would help me out a lot, and I hope you will stay tuned for my next video. Until next time, have a great day. Bye!